Derivatives trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results.
So stressful when the world's on fire. Good God. I can't look at this, guys. Like, my strategy is you buy it and you hope that you got a good spot. Yeah, but we all think you're crazy. You don't fight this. No way. The markets are freaking out and you don't think that anything is wrong? Come back tomorrow and I'll lose it all. Should be fun.
Good morning, guys. Well, today is a holiday. Like the CME futures are open, but it is a holiday. The banks and all of the federal agencies, as my understanding, have the day off. I don't have the day off. Do you get the day off? I don't think that anybody else actually gets the day off. And that's what makes this holiday so, frankly, I hate I'm trying to be cautious here. I'm about the word I'm using, but I think it's appropriate. So problematic is that it's in the middle of the week and not everybody gets it off, right? Because there are some of these holidays that like not everybody gets off, but like it's usually on the weekend and a couple. Anyways, so it's a little frustrating to me. I think a lot of people. I'm noticing all these guys from Europe coming in and they're like, it's a holiday in the middle of the what? This is stupid. No. But anyways, it's a holiday. Juneteenth. Anyways, I don't want to dwell on it too much, but that means we're likely to get a very, very, very tight. And I mean very, very tight session here. We haven't even moved a tick yet in the first 15 minutes. So, did I do the stinger and all that? I'm kind of sitting here going like, is something not right? When did I come over to here? Here's a camera and I came over to here. Anyways, Uzi's already asleep. Thanks, Jake. Good morning. How are you? Well, let's do kind of review what happened yesterday and the overnight. It's knockoff Kwanzaa. Oh man. Okay. ZN. You can see not a whole lot of movement overnight, but we did have a decent move up off of those retail sales, and then a little bit later in the day, like for our session, is just kind of like didn't do anything, and then as soon as I'm gone, woohoo, we're going higher. There was an auction yesterday that I forgot about, so I think that up movement was that. ES here, it was pretty range bound yesterday, but a little bit higher. Oil is all of the sudden on a tear. It was like, it's too high. Finally came down, and now like this in particular is just getting completely erased so quickly. That kind of has me on edge a little bit. Gold and silver still in doldrums though. So I don't think that the market is as concerned about inflation coming back. At the moment, I don't think that they're as concerned because we are seeing growth issues. Copper, finally an update. In how long has it been? Oh my gosh, it's been a while. Okay, here is Japanese yen. Again, not again, but there was a story last night from Zero Hedge basically detailing how the fifth largest Japanese bank is going to sell a lot of its bond holdings, including treasuries, some like 60 billion worth of treasuries, which is a decent amount. And when they sell, it may force other Japanese banks and holders to sell as well. So, I would be interested to see what the Japanese yen does. Does the central bank, does triage have to come in here and do stuff? It's all that sort of a thing. And that could really hurt the yen. But for now, the market is sleeping. Dollar's at 104. Bitcoin continues to drop. For now, like not seeing any market reaction to it or anything like that. But come tomorrow, I think that we need to be on our feet because there could be some selling. And that's a flow that we're going to have to factor in. If you go and you read the Zero Hedge article, they're pretty like apocalyptic about it. Like, oh, the music just stopped. This is the canary in the coal mine, and now the economy, everything's gonna fall apart. Yada 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 yada. I'm not quite so, listen, Zero Hedge always overplays everything. I think that they are all in on the, as agitated as we can make people will get us more views sort of a thing. But it is so, and they also talked about front running it. I don't think that we can be quite so cavalier about front running it, but I do think that we do have some reason for concern. I do think that there will be some selling for it, so we'll have to factor it in with all of the other flows. But it is going to be a thing when they start selling, which I doubt they'll do it today on the holiday. Right? So that's where we're at. Man, this is not only is it like we haven't even moved a tick, but we haven't even seen 3,000 volume. So let's see here. Juneteenth is knockoff Kwanzaa. Uzi says it's a holiday for white women, except for that I kind of feel like that if you're white and you like really celebrate the holiday, that you'll be called racist. So is that really the case? I don't know if it's a holiday for white women, but I could be wrong. Do you have some white women friends that are celebrating it and have elaborate Juneteenth plans? I don't know. Okay, another thing I gotta come in here and check. Somebody on Discord was kind of breaking the rules. Oh, they deleted it. They deleted it. There's this guy and he posted a picture of a spreadsheet. He was like, oh, you should listen to me. I'm totally making money. He posted a spreadsheet. I'm like, can I have proper software to track your profit and loss? If you're going to try and present yourself as you should listen to me because of my profits, you have to show broker statements. That's in the rules. And now he must have deleted it. Okay. Also, you know what? My computer is my other computer is on, but I do not think it is running the bot because I haven't seen. Well, let's double check in here. Members. Yeah, there's some in there. Okay, so when I restarted my machines and everything for the desk, it must not have completely restarted the bot. So before we get into the programming, I think that we should check on that. So over here, actually, I have a thing for it. Let's see if the SSH is working. No, it's not. I think I still have the switch turned on to it. So let's try that. Aha. The system posted in safe mode. I don't know what the deal is with it, but it seems like you have to restart it twice to get it to. We'll try that again. I think I need to create like a health check endpoint so that I know when it's up or down. It can send me alerts. Come on, you can do it. over here. Move you guys over here just in case you see anything I can see. Okay, there we go. Arch is starting. Okay, cool. When I come over here, now if I go to Melchior, yes, it tries to log in. Okay, so that should all start up on its own and be fine. I won't worry about it for now. Should we write notes for today? Well, we should. Let's go into like what we're gonna do. I can't, you know, like the whole thing about applying a, what is it, a suffix or whatever you would call it to a month just sounds so stupid to me as an English speaker. And I don't think that, you know, most people will ever get over that. Okay. So okay, so we are going to cache news data and convert to simplified format. Then we're going to make indicator that marks news events. And we'll make a strategy that avoids news. That's what we're gonna do. So let's start a new tab here. And what were we calling this one? Ah, we were in Rapid API. Okay, so we still have a couple of items that are like iffy, but I think that we can deal with that. Oh, actually, we already have a line for it. Ha ha ha. Delete. Oh, I'm in the wrong directory. Okay, we need to remove that news.json file. And we can't do the JQ thing, so it's just save news.json. Okay. I don't think I have... Oh my gosh. DD, I have no clue what he is trying to say. I think that I need to pull some configuration from my other machine. Hold on. I got some keybinds that I use to, like, you know, switch between windows and things like that. And I don't think I have one set up on this machine, and I forget what it was on my work machine. And I want to make sure that I use the same thing in both places. So I'm going to start that up here and just double check my configuration here. In terminal settings, actions. And I'll open it up over here as well. Toggle pane zoom. Toggle pane zoom. And where did it go? Oh, it's still there. And I'm using Control Z. Save. Okay, so now if I do Control Z, okay, cool. Okay, so here is the JSON that it spit out at us. Also, one of the things I was wondering about was, like, does it give us the expectation or any of that stuff? It does not. And I'm not sure if it gives us the future ones, but we will work that out. Let's see here. Go to end. Is it? Yep, end. Go to end. Okay. So it gives us some errors. Let's just fix the errors manually. So 737. Come on, I know you're in there. Oh, did it? No, it should totally. There we go. Oops. There we go. Okay, so the problem with this one is it thinks that there is a 171 days in March. So we will delete that one. Okay. And I'll delete this line because we solved it. Okay. The problem with this one, 2023-08, this needs a leading 8. So item 948. There we are. And is this 08? Yeah, this needs it as well. 0808. Okay, next one. This one, instead of having the T, it has a colon in it. That's funny. 1081. There we are. I'll fix it over here too. Okay, this one is 151. That one is extra, so get rid of that. 1280. It's kind of slow here where you using such a large file. Doesn't feel very responsive to me. 15D11, okay. Uh-oh. Somebody break something already? Let's see here. No. I don't know what that is. That's weird. Because shouldn't it like not show me any? Well, let's clear my notifications. Help a little bit. Okay, we just fixed that one. And then this one, 1491. It needs a leading 8. Man, I guess I need Sublime, right? Sublime editor is better at dealing with that sort of a thing. Okay, so now this one right here, this one is missing an ID. This one is missing an ID. So what I'm going to do with this one, is I'm gonna move it. I mean, it'll just be the last one, I suppose. So, delete that, insert comma. Oh. Dot next dot. This is probably not the most efficient way for me to do it, but I'm just like, you know, going through the list and changing each one. Okay. With a closing bracket in X delete. Okay, and the whole thing was, though, is that it didn't have an ID. So right here, I will say ID colon 100,101 space parentheses right close. Well, I can buffer close. Buffer close. Okay. Bring this back over here. So now I should be able to open news.json and pass it to JQ. Okay, that was a terrible idea. That is a way bigger file than I realized. Holy crap. Wait, why won't it interrupt? Okay. End of file error. Parsing at the end. Good effing grief. You gotta be kidding me. Why is this not working? Go to the last line. Oh, this is the last. Go to line end. Okay. It thinks there is a missing. Line 2, column 1E. Is it just because... Should this right here not be a capital F? Invalid numeric literal at line 2, column 0. Oh, what are you guys going on about over here? Do you know who Tom Fitton is, president of Judicial Watch? This man's ballhead. Are you using Google Translate or do you understand this language this guy is speaking? What's going on? I don't know what's going on. Hey, good morning, Francesco. He's speaking Swahili? Oh, okay. So are you do you know Swahili or are you speaking to him with Google Translate? What does it not like about that? Line 2, column 0. How is that possible? Because right here, maybe it's that. Weird. Of course I don't know. So how do I know? Wait, have we been through this before? Because I don't know if I've ever even seen a picture of you. No, we have been through this before, and you showed me a picture, didn't you? I don't remember. What does it not like? What does it not like? So like when I'm on line 2-1. It's adding the line there. What's with that? Well, that thing works. What's wrong with JQ? I'll teach you guys how to speak Swahili if you pay me. That's okay. I don't anticipate having to speak at Swahili a whole lot. Okay, you know what, Jason? Maybe it's just that one thing. Can I pass a file into JSON lint? I don't think I can. Come on. Here we go. Open. Says it's valid JSON. Let's see here. Sample, load previous data, open file, save online, validator, print, clear, copy. Okay, but how do I beautify it? Okay, maybe I can just do this. Sure. Copy to clipboard. Okay. News pretty.json. Let's do it this way. Space P. Right width. Okay. Oops. There we go. Lose buffer. Buffer. Okay, you know what? All right. So now that we got all of that, I am going to how do I want to do this? Right. News cached dot. Okay. So now I can get rid of all of this stuff. And newsbready.json has F. I don't want to make this whole thing inside. Well, let's just try that first. Oh, it doesn't like that. Because I don't need the load S, I just need load. Da, 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 da. Oh, I didn't delete the one that has the issue. I don't want to do this. Oops. Oh, hey, you know what? And just delete this one. Delete. Right. Oh, it's still complaining about one. 1081. Did you guys hear that Peter Davies is actually a PDF file? Hadn't heard that. You know what though? I haven't heard a whole lot from him lately. Well, they did. I take that back. They did do an update like a month or two ago. Okay, Fed interest rate decision. That should be happening at 14:30. 14:30. P 14:30. 440. Oh, this one right here is 15:30. Okay. Da-da-da-da. So that means that we got our cached, quote unquote, cached data, and we have fixed all of the errors in it, and it is working correctly. So now what I have to do is So what I'm doing here is I'm going through everything and I am filtering it, I think. And then I was going to print it out. But I think that what I first want to do is I want to put it into a list. So I'm going to say filtered equals... Is that the way that we do it in Python? Oops. Okay, so I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to say, if we get to there, filter dot append value. No, actually, we will create an object that has a title, actually it's like this title 8. And is that all I actually care about? I think it might be. But then let's see here. Python sort list by date. Okay. Let's change this around a little bit first. Like that. And then I should be able to do filtered equals filtered dot sort. Oh, except for that that will be out here. Right. Yeah. Filtered equals filtered dot sort. Print. And filtered. Nope, doesn't like that. Oh. Is that not how we do things in Python, huh? Oh, okay, I fixed it. Oh, it's not a list, it's a dictionary. I'm reading here. What's their DD? I trade synthetic indexes and gold. I trade binary option contracts and levered. What? Really? I have a hard time seeing how where a retail trader would have any reason to trade like leveraged CFDs. But you can pop in tomorrow for sure. I'm not a huge fan of binary option contracts. every you know, like there's been too many complete scam exchanges that their whole thing was binary option contracts, right? Even though there are some legit ones. I can just use sorted. Let's see here. That. No, that doesn't make sense. Why does they getting that data? Is it just like this? No, it doesn't sort. It. String object is not callable. Wait, what? I heard Peter was doing nasty stuff in Thailand. No. There was a thing a while ago where there was an influencer claiming that Peter was doing something illegal in Thailand, but it was because somebody was feeding that influencer like obviously bad information to try and like a honeypot scheme sort of a thing. And the influencer like fell for it and posted all this stuff, and I thought he looked really dumb because it was like the things that he was claiming were like really ridiculous. But I don't think that DD is referring to that. I think DD is just saying things to be silly. I think there's also this one time where some people in Discord were saying shit, and they were joking around, but I was like, nope, we have to ban you. That's not okay. Filter dot get. Yeah, this is not working. Oh, is it because it's a list of dictionaries? Sort list. That's what it is. Sort list of dictionaries. That's what it is. That's why I'm having a problem. A sorted function takes a key equals parameter. Key equals lambda d name. Oh, okay, I got it. That makes more sense. lambda d e 8. Da, 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 da. Right here, import pretty print. I think it's pretty print.pp. No. No module pretty print. Oh. It's key print. Better. Except for that it does it as a funky. Okay, but it is giving us all of the events that we want until the end of the year. So that's what we'd like to see. I just need to do it into JSON correctly, I think. So actually what I really want is output JSON equals JSON.dump s filtered. And then we want to output JSON. Object type of type datetime is not JSON serializable. What? Python, really? Okay. Let's see what that does. Cool. Date, title. Date, title. Oh, that's JSON dump string. So what we could actually do is I could say with open, what should we call this one? I'm sorry, then the influencer was, but yes, it was. Because of me small dog energy vibes. Well, I think that he's a chronic narcissist. Like, isn't there this whole thing with like, there's like narcissism, and then there's narcissistic personality disorder, and there, like there's like the condition and the personality disorder are a little bit different. So like, he might be more the personality disorder, but like I think that and I guess I don't want to spend too much time talking about people. So like the more general thing is that you'll get people, they're traders, and maybe they make a little bit of money or whatever, right? And you start to like base your whole personality around the trading. And then the thing is that trading is really hard. And even the best traders, the profits can be incredibly inconsistent. Like DD says, are you consistently profitable? For me, by my own standard, no. The standard that a lot of people on Reddit use, yeah, totally. Okay, but like my standard is like, would people invest in my fund if I showed them a 5-year performance? And I don't think so. Not yet. We're getting there. We're getting better. We do have almost 5 years under our belt of doing things this way, results that are better, but no, it's not quite there. But so some people, when they get to that point, like it's such a big ego thing and all that you basically like can't like do anything. Like if they were to admit the truth, then it would, a narcissist can't bring themselves to do that. You know what I mean? So you picking up on that he's defensive, I think that's the narcissism. But that used to be, because he was attacking me and saying all sorts of ridiculous things. That he was calling me ugly for one thing, which I was like, that's against YouTube's terms of service. Not that I think I'm gorgeous or anything, but I know I've been around the dating world recently. I'm pretty aware of where I fit in the stack, and I'm just average looking, okay? If not a little weird because I have these huge bug eyes, okay? But then he was saying other things like he's a scammer. I'm like, scammer about what? Everything that I say is accurate, and I don't make any kind of inaccurate presentations whatsoever. So that is like defamation in my opinion, but I don't really think that if I sued him or anything that I get the money, so it's not worth it, right? I feel like subscribing, but you bashed smart money concepts a bit too hard. Well, when I made that video, that was when everybody was starting to turn on what is his name? Inner Circle Trader. That's when everybody was turning on Inner Circle Trader. So we made that. Because the thing that bothered me about that was that everybody was like, well, Inner Circle Trader is crazy and he's clearly scamming and he made money off of the YouTube channel, but he's not actually a real profitable trader or whatever the deal is, right? And the thing that bothered me about that was that his strategy doesn't actually work. So I went and I backtested it to show how it performs. And it was, I think that one is kind of funny because basically what my results show is that they were having a little bit of success, but only because of the following that it was starting to gain. That like enough people were trading it that it was starting to create a pattern in the market, but then when it got too big, it just started failing every time. So I'm quite proud of that video. That one, at first that one, like, I was really disappointed. I was like, this should be getting more traction than it did. But now, the algorithm is like picking up on it and like it's getting out. I'm happy with where it's been going. But yes, Vinny made that video about Peter, and like I don't really know what's going on completely, but from what I understand, like Vinny was being fed that information from somebody that was completely bullshitting him. And Vinny like completely fell for it. But whatever. They had a court case and his broker records leaked out and he lost almost $1 million trading, which is just insane to me, man. Like, if I'm coming in and I'm trading, because look, the way that I perform is going to be largely a function of, one, the opportunity that's actually available in the treasuries, and two, the degree to which I understand that current market, So like, we have this thing coming up. We think that some Japanese banks are going to be selling bonds. So if that creates selling in the bonds and we're on board, then we're going to do really, really well, right? But if we're wrong, we don't understand what's actually going on, or maybe they're not selling, or I don't know, then we're not going to do well, right? And so if I'm not doing well, I might take 3 trades in a day and lose $30 and then be done, right? And if I'm like going through the week and I'm really losing, then I'm gonna stop live trading until I know what's going on, and until I figured out why the market isn't moving, or that my understanding of the market is incorrect. So, but there's no way that I would ever continue to trade something to the point that it would make $1 million in losses. Can you imagine that? It's just like so hard for me to wrap my head around the mentality of somebody that would keep trading and lose it. Because it wasn't like, oh, he took one big trade and whatever and lost the, no, it was like just death by a million cuts. He'd get a bunch of money that month, and then he'd go and blow it all. It's just insane. But I guess the other thing that I learned from all of that is going around and spamming incessantly everywhere actually does work pretty well to promote yourselves. So I guess if I turned around and instead of telling you guys, don't talk about me, I told you guys, go and tell all your friends, get them all to sign up for our indicator package, make the indicator package like $1,000 and whatever, then I could probably, make $1 million off of that and then go and blow it in the stock market. That'd be great. Anyways, where was I? Yeah. So with open, we were trying to decide what to call our data file. What are we coding? We are coding an indicator / algorithm that will avoid trading during news, so that when we are doing back testing, we don't get the noise from news releases, changing, we will get out before the news and we won't get in until 5 minutes after the news and see how that changes what we get. And that might help us, pick up more on fundamental properties or behaviors of the market rather than the algorithm optimizing towards, whatever got you in on the news, right? And then what did I have to do here? Default equals str. Okay, so this over here to news unfiltered.json. And then coming back up here. Oh, okay. The news unfiltered is, that's fine. Yeah. News unfiltered, news pretty. And then, gotcha. Okay. Python. News cache.py. Cool. So does 2022 to 2024? Is that right? I don't get earlier than that, huh? I thought that it went back further than 2022, though. We want like more than 5. I would like it to go back to like 2018. I thought that when we did this originally that I was like, oh yeah, it goes really far back. Wait, maybe it's because well, the first one that we get is, yep, no, we don't get anything 2018. That sucks. So let's go back to the Rapid API real quick. Trader calendar. So we're subscribed to basic. By Sam Johnson. Where's, oh, so any person can come in and make this. That's interesting. No, it was Vinny that lost $1 million. I know nothing about Peter's trading. I know nothing about it. And I don't think he's ever really said anything about his trading either. Well, so we might be able to get better data, like data going further back or whatever. But the key thing is we get this JSON file that gives us a date and a title for events, essentially, right? And that should be enough for us to make our indicator. Now I need to think a little bit. So basically, right here. Okay, make an indicator that marks news events. So on this one, you have to load the JSON, but then we also have to like so like if I load that entire huge JSON file, because how big is that? Oh, we're back over here. 156 kilobytes is... Okay, it's not like the end of the world, but that is pretty big, right? And if I'm going through, and I don't want to say like, for every bar, if there is news out on this bar, then draw my line, right? That would be stupid. We would only want to do it for like a maximum once for each news event. And we would want to filter things out so that we only see the news events that are, you know, so that we only do it for the relevant news events. So like if I put up a chart of like 5 days, you know, I should only get like a dozen news events, and the logic to check and see if I should draw something should only happen 5 times. So I think what I need to do is I think that I can't avoid like loading up the whole file, but then once I've loaded up the file, I can like filter it to the range on the chart. Now, if I do that, I would also be filtering out the future events. So then I would have to like constantly check if there's a new... Right? He lost $1 million and he's bragging everywhere that he's making millions every month with a funny game. So what happened was that all happened during Discovery, and you know, it got published on Twitter and everything, and he fired his lawyer, and now he's saying that that's not all of his trading, that that's only like his experimental trading account, and that he has other accounts where he's making millions and millions. I doubt that, but okay. And he claims that he's still gonna go to court against Matt. What do we call him now? Rocket Scooter or whatever. Anyways, the whole thing is fun. I'm sure at some point that there will be like a Netflix documentary or something, and I can be in the documentary, but Netflix is gonna have to pay me. That's what I think about it. Okay, well, I've thought about it a little bit. I think that I should just like get started. The other thing is there's like the indicator and there's the strategy, right? Yeah, I'm gonna start as an indicator. And this one, I guess we're making it a free indicator, aren't we? Because I'm showing you guys how we're making it here on stream, right? I'm starting to think, though, that it's so sophisticated that we will, you know, that it will end up being a paid indicator. Okay, so what I want to do here now is once we've loaded the data, then we can pick up the file and all of that sort of stuff. So, oh, We can save this. I'm gonna make another new tab in here. Let's make this a little, I can make this a little larger. I call Cap because he's shilling algobacks everywhere like his life depends on it. Oh man. Yeah. Yeah, he does. He really does. But like the thing is from that information, his life doesn't depend on it. So I think that it again is kind of more his narcissism. Right. Like this is my issue is I have like almost I have like purged almost all narcissism from myself. And the reality is that in the business that we're doing, you need a little bit of that. And you need to, you know, manage people's perceptions of you and try and promote yourself and all of these sorts of things. Now, part of it is maybe I just don't care. Like, I'm concerned that if the stream got too popular, that it would kind of negatively impact the trading. So I don't have to be huge. But it's kind of like this battling dichotomy because I want to be able to continue to do trading and you know, have success with what we're doing and have this nice small channel. But there's also some ideas that we want to get out to the larger public. And so we keep playing this game where, like, you know, we'll build up the YouTube channel and it doesn't matter if the YouTube channel blows up because, like, the live stream will probably remain small, right? But that might be naive. It might be that, like, the two are interconnected and the YouTube channel's not going to take off unless I start being a little bit more narcissistic and you know, getting people to promote me and all of that sort of stuff. So, like, just relying on the YouTube search algorithm to bring people to it might not get it done. You know what I mean? So anyways. Buy a Lambo. There you go. That's exactly it. I need to buy a Lambo. That's another thing is I just can't see myself ever buying a car like that. I know there's these people that have said, oh, I bought a Lambo and I created a business around the Lambo where I go to all of these different events and things like that and people use the Lambo and it like paid for it. And first of all, I'm like, I doubt that. But then second of all, I'm like, you know, if I had a Lambo and I don't think that I would actually do all of that stuff, though. I think that I would like buy it and then like never do any of the business stuff that I was supposed to with it, you know? Nah. I mean, I would like a nicer car, but I really think that what I want is just a car that meets my needs the best. And you know, that's probably going to be some sort of a Toyota, not a Lambo. I think many of the big YouTube live traders have massive followings due to people watching to copy trade. I do think that that is a factor, Namrus. Yeah, because I constantly have people that come in here and, you know, when they first start talking, and it's very clear to me that they want to try and shadow my trades. And I wouldn't recommend shadowing my trades because like the way that I trade and the way that I manage it and everything is all very specific to me and my risk tolerances and everything. And I intentionally do things in a way that makes it hard for people on the stream to follow because I'm concerned that, you know, that could screw up the trade. So it's like, you know, I want people to watch what I'm doing and use that to learn so that they can run things themselves and they don't have to follow me. That's what I want. I'm trying to teach people to fish instead of giving them fish. But yeah, I think that some people, they just want to copy trade, and so then when I tell them don't copy trade me, they don't stick around, right? Yeah, build a quality audience rather than freeloaders. Yeah, and that's another thing, is that like what we're doing is very sophisticated and high level, and a lot of people are not going to understand it. A lot of people are not going to have the work ethic to keep up with it and everything, right? Because what we're doing is like, I've got to know everything that I possibly can about this current market and keep track of it all, and right, reading all of the financial news and the analyst reports and things like that. It's a lot of work. It is a second full-time job. Like I sit here and I do the live stream every day. But outside of the live stream, I probably spend 1 or 2 hours a day reading research. There's a guy that comes to eat where I work every day. He looks exactly like you, but without a beard, and is skinnier. Well, I mean, are you in Utah? Because, when I find a food place, I tend to frequent it pretty often. But it's been a long time since I haven't had a real beard. The beard is pretty long right now. How do I look on the camera? Well, it looks pretty good right now. I don't know how I feel about the gray. Sometimes I'm like, you know what? The gray's not that great. Just dye it. But I don't think that dyeing it would work because my beard is like very multicolored. So this area would just be like a solid brown. It wouldn't look right. Live streaming on a holiday, I respect the commitment. Well, what am I going to do? Sleep in? Dude, last night, I think that I got to bed at a reasonable... I got to bed before 10, so I got 7.5 hours of sleep, I think. But I just... maybe I was dehydrated. It was hard to wake up this morning. I don't know. I did my workout on Monday, and I was feeling really good. I was really getting into it, and my elbow was starting to feel better and all of these things. And, so I felt great. And then the next day I was super sore. I was really surprised at how sore I was because, normally if I'm sore, I can tell from the workout, oh yeah, that's going to hurt tomorrow or whatever. Another thing was yesterday we go swimming on Tuesday. Because a neighbor has a pool party every Tuesday, and I picked up one of my kids and threw them and caught them again. And when I caught them, I dove into the water, and I threw him so high when he came down that I slipped and fell to the bottom of the pool and hit my butt on the bottom of the pool. And that hurt. And I'm surprised that that's not bruised today. Working out improves qualities in all aspects of your life 100%. I was watching this. So who is it? Oh, dude, there's this guy. Let me show you. Or this is probably taking way too long of a break here. We should get back to the programming. But yeah, it's like the first person on there. Jeff Nippard. So because I'd been searching for fitness equipment, like my jerk blocks and everything, like the YouTube algorithm picks up on it too. And so it starts showing me that same stuff. And so it's showing me Jeff Nippard. And here's what I really like about Jeff is that he's like me. And when I say he's like me, he relies on empirical evidence. When he makes a video, everything that he says, he tries to back up with a study of some sort. So some people are like, I was watching this TikTok and somebody was like, oh, I don't really like Jeff Nippard or whatever the deal was. And I was like, well, you kind of have the same issue in the fitness world. Like Jeff is natural, so like almost everybody else that you see in the fitness world is going to be bigger than this guy because they're all juicing, right? So people will be like, well, I don't know if I would really pay attention to Jeff because he's not that big. But then it's, but he doesn't rely on himself for his authority. He's not saying I'm so huge, and so he's pretty good, but he says here's the research, and that's what I try to do. So I really like him. He's been showing me that stuff, and there was a video, a recent video. I think it was his most recent video. Was it his most recent video? Yep, his most recent video. Steroids are awesome. And one of the things that they started talking about was that apparently steroids make you stupid. Like the steroids, a lot of it are signals to your body to like you're an adult now. And so it like the bones, the growth plates on your bones start to close over. Your brain stops developing and things like that. And so the video was the most insightful video on steroids I've ever watched. And so he was pointing out that like if you take it when you're too young, it will short your brain development. Which, you know what? So they were saying like, like a lot of people, their brain doesn't develop until 22, 26. But there's some more recent research that suggests that your brain never really stops developing and that your brain is constantly creating new brain cells and making new connections all the time. So like, yeah, that the steroids make you stupid is like a really interesting thing to me. Because what I've come to the conclusion is that, well, yes, there is a genetic component to intelligence. There is definitely a genetic component to intelligence, that the environment and how you use your mind is exponentially more important. And that if you are constantly coming in every day and working out problems and doing complicated math stuff and things like that, you get really smart just because you're doing that stuff and you're exercising the brain like that. And if you're not, if you're like most people where you stop learning and you stop doing that stuff at a certain point, you get dumb. Or rather your intelligence expands in that area. Like my wife, I don't think that I can really give her like a complicated programming. Like if the kids were all in school and she was like, okay, now I want to learn to get a programming job. I don't know if that would take a long time and a lot of work because everything that she's had is going into children. So like she is very intelligent in managing the house and the kids in ways that I don't understand. Right? Because that's what she's doing. You exercise your brain is just like a muscle, and all of these things that you can do to like short circuit your brain development, like taking steroids, not eating well, not being healthy, not exercising. And like that's one of the things that I think kind of sets me apart is that I always kept exercising. I had a short time period where I wasn't, but I always kept exercising, and I've always been very active in, like some people, they get a job and then it's like, okay, I'm going to try and lay as low as possible. And that to me is like, listen, I'm from Utah. We're Utah Mormons. The state mascot is the honeybee because we're industrious, right? Like I can't do that. I have to, I feel the moral obligation to give everything that I've got, Now, everything that I got doesn't mean run as fast as possible and then exhaust yourself. I think that I've gotten really, really good at being able to like moderate my activities. Like, I went really, really hard this day, so like I need to go a little easier this day, and so that I don't burn out. And gotten good at that. those are all things that allow me to do this. And a lot of people I don't think would, just because they don't have their life set up like that. They don't wake up early enough. They don't go to the gym. They're not actively reading the news and trying to understand the world. It's important for someone like you to get exercise based off your job where you're sitting pretty much. Oh yeah, dude. And like that's another thing. I need to make my chair video. Actually, here's the chair. It's right there. I've been using this other chair. I think I might actually continue to use this other chair and or, buy a new version of this one at some point but I've got some other things to test. That one doesn't have the lumbar support in it, and I'm ordering the lumbar support. Then maybe we go back to that chair if the lumbar support is better. I kind of suspect that it won't, but it might surprise me. Because the issue that I was having was I don't think that it was supporting my upper back, because my upper back was always sore. And as soon as I switched over to this chair, it stopped being sore. So that suggests to me that it was totally the chair. It was an immediate enough change that I think it was a chair, but that chair didn't have the support in it. But I think that I'm a good candidate to test a chair, because I am at the computer so much, right? Like most people, it's like, well, you're a programmer, so you're in your chair all day because you're doing programming. Yeah, but then I'm also in the chair for 3 hours before that doing the trading. And then sometimes I might even be in the chair after that if I'm like, doing stuff in the evening. So I use the chair a lot. I am like your ultimate power user for the chair. But I do Olympic weightlifting, and the Olympic weightlifting really, really works your posterior chain, and so that really, really counteracts the effects of sitting all the time. Better to be functioning and healthy to be a big bulky wreck on the inside and not even able to rotate your shoulder. So the thing that I'm starting to wonder about now is like my shoulders have been feeling kind of tired and sore lately. That's one of the areas that was like most sore from yesterday. So I'm not sure if it's just like I'm working my shoulders really hard and they're yet to recover, or if it has something to do with the way that I'm sleeping. Because when I wake up, that's like the first thing is like my shoulders feel so sore. And I'm not quite sure I understand how my sleeping would make that happen, and why it was never something that I felt before. I mostly sleep on my side, yes. I'll sleep on my side, and sometimes I'll kind of be curled like this. Not like full on like this, but kind of like this sort of a thing. And sometimes I'll have the arm extended out, and it's maybe like half and half on that. So do you think that sleeping on the side could cause the shoulders to get tired? Because I'm like, as I'm sleeping, which shoulder would want to go like this, and I'm holding it like this all night or something? I don't know. I recommend doing rotator cuff exercises with light dumbbells, and that will solve it. Okay. I think the next thing on my list for my gym, I just got the jerk blocks. Oh my gosh, it's so weird the way the jerk blocks make the space feel completely different, and I'm a lot happier with the jerk blocks for some reason. Maybe it was just last session, but last session I felt so much energy. I don't know. There's really something to be said for like the space that you're in. They say that like every item in your space is like takes a certain amount of processing power, even if you're not thinking about it. Like, your mind has to ignore it. And so, like, having a really cluttered space actually does, like, matter. That's really, really interesting to me. And I've always worked to try and keep my office super clean and to not have a ton of clutter on my desk. There's maybe a few things after this, having changed the desk, that I need to tidy up a little bit, because like not everything quite has its place yet. It's like, oh, I have all this room, I'm just gonna put all of my toys all over the place. Maybe I should put them in a box or something. But the table itself, this piece of wood, man, I don't think I knew about this, because I just never had a piece of furniture like this. But like, wood, when it is properly finished, glows, because there's like chatoyancy to wood, where it kind of shines based on, you know, because the surface is kind of wavy and whatnot. And so, you know, you'll get that thing where the exact color of it changes between the two eyes, and so you kind of get that kind of vibrant shininess sort of effect, right? You've seen that sort of a thing. But you have to like finish the wood. It has to be like natural wood with like a good finish on it. And I used Rubio Monocoat on this, and yeah, it just shimmers, and it adds so much energy to the room that, and it almost feels like a spiritual thing to me. Like, one of the guys that I really like, George, I can't remember his last name. It's a Japanese last name, but he was one of the guys that popularized this, like, make a piece of furniture out of a wood slab and keep it as natural looking as possible sort of a thing. And, you know, to him, the tree that it came from was like really important, and that you were trying to like bring out the beauty in the original tree, and it was kind of a spiritual thing. And I kind of feel that, having a piece of wood like that in front of me now. When my desk has unnecessary stuff on it, I feel disgusting, and I can't relax and focus yet. Anyways, I got off track. So now that I've got the jerk blocks, next thing is I need a belt. I need a new belt. I haven't really ever used the belt. That would be an important thing that would help me. And then I should get those bands, you know, those bands to do like shoulder rotations and stuff like that. Because I did kind of hurt my elbow. I think that what actually happened was I like slightly sprained it. Like, I think that when I held it out, you know, and then push it, hyperextend it, and then that caused it to be slightly sprained. And, you know, just took a little while for it to recover, but it seems like it's okay now. I was worried that like a tendon was like screwed up, because that can take like 6 to 8 weeks to heal, right? And so that would be from lifting incorrectly and from not being strong enough in my overhead position and everything. So if I get those exercise bands and do those sorts of rotator cuff exercises, that would probably help me out. Okay, so back to the indicator. So the issue that we have is that we need to, we'll load this file. So the first thing is, well, we won't make this a ninja strip property, but public string path get set. Okay, and then we will say use, insert using stream reader file equals file dot open text And then we use path here. That will get more sophisticated in later, but I think that that's all I need for now. Okay, let's see here. So the question that I got here was about using Newtonsoft JSON. And don't think that's what we want. So you used to use the Newtonsoft JSON, but now Microsoft has a new one, has its own JSON reader, but then I might not have the version of .NET that gives me the Microsoft one. Okay, well, so I think that what I can do is I can do using system.text.json. And I'm just going to put comment this bit out here real quick. And come to the Ninja script. It should. Yeah, it doesn't have it. This could be a big stumbling block. Maybe I don't actually want it as JSON. Maybe I want it as a comma separated values. I think so. I think we want to do this as comma separated values. With open news.csv, comma w, comma encoding equals UTF-8 as f, f dot write f string like this, and then we say oh, actually we need to say for each what do we call it? For each item in filtered, f dot write and item dot date, comma item dot what is it, title. Let's see here. I got to check a couple of things on syntax. I always forget this syntax that they've got. Yeah, I think that I do it like this. Oops, I got the wrong syntax in there. Oh, I don't need for each. I just say for item in filtered. Durr. Dictionary object has no attribute date. I think it needs to be like this. And open news.csv. Oh. We need -n at the end. Okay. There we go. Now I'm gonna look at something in here. Yeah. Okay, this is where it gets. And I have to make a method called load news. Public void load news. Using stream reader SR equals new stream reader path. Oh, I see why I did it like that. I'm kind of using some of my old code as a reference here. Yeah. So that is going to parse our CSV file where basically we're finding where the comma is, and then before the comma, we're turning it into a date time, and after the comma, we're turning it into that title. That might not work completely, but it'll be close. I think over here. We're gonna come and we're gonna say public dictionary date time comma string news dictionary, not news dictionary, underscore lowercase and news dictionary equals new dictionary date time string. Okay, so that will make our news dictionary. And then we say news dictionary dot add date comma title. Ta-da! Okay, so that will give us a dictionary. So what we could do is we could go and we could say, yeah, bar, if the time of this bar is matches, well, or rather, let me restart. What we could do is we could say, take the time of this bar and then use, look in the dictionary to see if there's a value for that key. But the problem with that would be, like, what if you're using like non-time based bars? Like, let's say that you're using range bars, for instance, right? I just still want that line to show up there within that bar, but it's going to be halfway between that bar. So you kind of have to do something to say, if there's a date within this range, then I draw the line. But what I could also do is I could also say, like, wait until we're to real time. So actually, I could have like two kind of algorithms of sort. Like, one would be, okay, like, draw all of the historical bars and then go into the dictionary and draw the lines. And then when we're in real time, then I have a different logic to determine if I need to draw this line for the real time. Do it that way. But then the thing that I think complicates this is that we want to be able to set up an indicator that will, like, give you a warning, right? Like, I could have it say, draw a line on the bar that the news happens, but then also draw a line or maybe a box like 1 minute before the news and 5 minutes after the news that is like, don't trade this time period, right? So then we would not be able to use that exact time because I need to start doing it 1 minute before that. So there's some complication in here about this that I don't think I can sort out on stream. I have to do a little bit of research. There are some indicators that I've got that do that sort of a thing, and some of my own code that I could do, but this is a pretty good example of something that should be able to, like, read the file and then do stuff. So now that we have the data in there, we just have to sort out the NinjaTrader side of it, essentially. How will we use NinjaTrader to effectively, use that data to draw the lines and avoid being in around news. So that took a lot more work than I thought it would. Well, I take that back, because I remember when we were talking about this last time, I was like, well, one time I might be able to get the data in, and then I can program the rest of it off stream. I do think that I might have to program a lot of this off stream though, so. Okay, so let's change this in here a little bit to CSV. Load. So we did do this. Load CSV. So I'm wondering if it should be like historical, live. Then there should be like a warning, like 1 min before. Then like do not trade 1 min before or 5 min after. Something like that. So this is going to be a sophisticated little bugger in it. But I think if we make this and I make it an indicator and we start doing back, I think this could really transform a lot of our back testing. And it might turn into a, like, if you want to back test with NinjaTrader, you probably need to have this. So let's shelve that for now. Let's minimize this. I wrote everything out. So that's good. We need to talk to this guy. Wish I could get further back than 2022. If you guys are looking around, you find an API that gives us like news events further back than 2022, or it gives you like median estimate and actual and all of that sort of stuff, let me know. We could use that. Well, let's kind of take a look at the market, although it does not look like anything has really happened. Well, the S&P 500 has dropped a little bit, but it's still kind of just within the range and the noise. And the treasuries, basically they moved up 2 ticks since we've started. Wow, that is really awful, isn't it? No, it did not. I don't think it actually did save that. Oh, I gotta get rid of the line, the JSON line. Nope, I'm not using... I'm going to try and resolve these line errors here. Hold on a second. So I don't have a stream reader in there. So I think that means I need system.io. Doesn't like that one, huh? I think I have to give it this sort of a thing. Right here. Oh. Actually, don't want that. Oh, it doesn't like that. Doesn't like that. Oh, you know what I should use? Is I should use like old prices. Yeah. Where we pull up a sound. Oh, do I not have the... Oh, that's weird. Okay, whatever. I see what I'm doing here. Cool. Now it builds. All right. Let's, with the last 10 minutes that we have, just kind of check in on a couple of things. Oops. That is not what I wanted to do. Oh, well. So first thing, let's just go to Zero Hedge, see if there's any news stories. Ugh. It's still doing that thing where like their homepage is like breaks. Oh, okay. Putin and Kim sign pact vowing mutual defense if attacked. There's been some a little bit of like concern because like the North Koreans have been throwing balloons with like dead animals over the wall, and there was a couple of North Koreans that seem to have gotten lost and went into the no man's land or whatever and set off a mine. Like there's maybe a little bit of concern that, you know, Kim might do something crazy. So like Putin and Kim signing a compact together, that kind of concerns me. Because why would they need that? Well, I don't think that the U.S. would ever step in and do anything like be the first step, you know, starting a war, but who knows? The weird monoliths are back. Yeah, I heard that there was another one of those. The problem with Juneteenth. Oh, let's read this. Let's read this. Heat Dome. Okay. Today is Juneteenth. 159 years ago, on June 19th, 1856, Major General Gordon Granger arrived in Texas and declared that all slaves in the state were free. The following year, in 1866, residents of the town where Granger had issued the order celebrated the anniversary as Jubilee Day. Eventually, the name changed to Juneteenth, and in 1979, it became a Texas state holiday. Then, in 2021, Joe Biden... Oh, okay, so it was a Texas state holiday. But you know what? Let's stop calling it Juneteenth. Let's just call it Jubilee Day. Yeah, how about that? That doesn't sound like I'm... I don't like... It doesn't sound right to me. The West's abolition of chattel slavery was one of the greatest victories of liberty in our civilization's history. Using an anniversary like today to celebrate the achievement and reflect on why it was necessary in the first place, or how it could have been better, should be a rare point of unity in today's politically fractured America. But in the years since Biden signed the so-called Juneteenth National Independence Day Act, the holiday has become increasingly co-opted by progressives in media, academic, and politics as a way to push for radical policies like collective reparations or the exclusion of white people from celebrations. Because of that, most of the rhetoric we see from those promoting Juneteenth sidesteps the actual issue of slavery. They do so because adherents of modern progressivism do not actually believe in self-ownership, the antithesis of slavery. Okay, now we're going to get into a little bit more far-right ideology, which, I mean, is okay. It's just I didn't realize it was that kind of an article, and I wouldn't necessarily want to read it out if that's where we're going. But I do see, like, the one thing that is, like, yeah, like, you're not allowed to celebrate it if you're a white person. Well, can we call it Jubilee Day? I like that. Let's call it Jubilee Day. Let's put that in the title. Jubilee Day holiday. Did you ban? No, I did. You know what, Lucas? I don't know what was going on with that. Like, he's still there, isn't it? Wasn't it Algo Nate? Or was it somebody else? Because like the spreadsheet is gone. I woke up this morning, I was like, okay, do I get to ban somebody? And then it was all gone. I'm like, oh. I think he left. Yeah, he might have just left the server and like deleted. But like all of his messages were deleted too. Yeah, I don't know. That whole thing was kind of weird, wasn't it? But it kind of comes back into this theory that, again, retail traders, they go in and they say the things that they do about like what trading is. and how technical analysis is supposed to work and everything, because they've essentially been trained by society to do that. And they don't understand that all of the things that happened that caused us to say that, like, you know, do systematic trading and technical analysis and all of that was portfolio strategies on daily bars and isn't really applicable to day trading. Right? I think if we just come in and we say, well, technical analysis has its uses, but not in day trading, that would, you know, because that's kind of my assertion, isn't it? I have a problem with what he says because I remember being a newbie in this arena and coming into public groups, reading stuff like that and being misled and believing things that are not true. Yeah. Because it's all kind of like this self-reinforcing thing. And you even get into this situation where even people that know the truth and know what's going on will tell you things that end up misleading you because they don't realize that that's the problem. They don't realize that you're going to go and try and do it on an intraday basis and it doesn't work on an intraday basis, right? I think that that's like all of the Jack Swagger books. I think that that's all they are. Is like he's talking to guys that did momentum strategies, did momentum swing strategies. And so he's talking to them about, and that's why, him and Mark Douglas, right? And that's why Mark Douglas is all into like this psychological aspect and how you stick to your strategy and all of those sorts of things. But it was because it was a swing strategy. And he either doesn't realize that or neglected to tell everybody. He doesn't realize that day traders are going to use it. And so they're misinterpreting everything that they're saying. Because once you realize it's a swing momentum strategy, go back and read all of that stuff from the perspective of swing momentum. And now all of a sudden it's really valuable stuff, right? Now all of a sudden it's like, hey, you could run a fund. Right? But so let's just say technical analysis isn't very effective on intraday time periods. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. And the way that you prove me wrong is using empirical data. Yeah, so I shouldn't say prove me wrong. I should say technical analysis is not very effective on intraday time periods. Find empirical evidence that suggests otherwise. Because I've looked and looked and looked and I can't find it. Let's see here. This story. See, now this guy is going on to and saying that you're not actually free, that the government owns your income, and I'm really sick of all conservative economics is let's have lower taxes. I'm so sick of that. Like, there's an optimal level to have taxes at, and what should that actually be? In the modern world. And like, let's talk about economic policies that are beyond just like how much you pay in taxes, please. That's one of the biggest things holding conservatives back, I think. Because they just go, oh, well, taxes should be as low as possible. They don't learn anything else about economics. Ugh. And so here it is. We're talking about Juneteenth. I want to talk about how it's a holiday that is on a specific day instead of being on like the X Thursday of the month or whatever. And even though it's like on a set day, it's not a day that everybody ends up getting off. And so you just end up with this midweek holiday that, for the majority of people, just kind of screws the week up, rather than a holiday that does anything. I want to talk about that. Doesn't freaking say anything. Instead, he's more concerned about the modern progressives do not actually believe in self-ownership. They think that we're all slaves and we just belong to the government. That's his take, right? And so the rest of the article is about that, and I don't want to talk about that. The holiday is totally political because it's kind of like you're not allowed to celebrate it, apparently. Like, this is so weird. And that's the other thing, is that it's like this holiday that comes up, and like anybody that's paying attention to the calendar knows, but like you're not allowed to talk about it in public, because if you talk about it in public, somebody might think you're racist. That's so dumb. Anyways, that's all they had over there. I wanted to check on GameStop here. Always got to do that. So did I tell you the other day, I was going in because I was like, okay, now that they had the shareholder meeting, that's probably not going to go too well, right? Okay. So that was Monday. The shareholders meeting happened, and the holders were all very upset that there was really nothing in that meeting. Okay. Now on Tuesday, there's actually some upside action, and if you go to like the Super Stonk subreddit and all of that, they are moving the goalposts once again. Now they're saying, okay, he has executed those calls, but they don't, and they will like credit them to the account, but they don't actually have to transfer the shares to wherever they are until 35 days later. So they're basically claiming now that the big squeeze will happen like 35 days from now. So what I would expect to have happen is GameStop will go dead. People will forget about it. 35 days from now, it will start rising again in anticipation of that event, and then nothing crazy will happen. And then they will probably come up with some new excuse. It's really wild to me how these guys can just like, they'll make a prediction, the prediction is wrong, and then it's, oh, well, actually, it's because of this, and the date is actually this time, right? By the time that we get to there, by the time it's like 35 days and the shares are delivered and nothing crazy happens, then the next one is probably, oh, well, we just have to wait for the next earnings, right? It's so dumb. Maybe GameStop is over. I think that a lot of people have given up on it now at this point, though. What are you guys yapping about in disc? Oh, okay. Go touch grass. Yeah. Majority of volume rolled in equities. Oh yeah, that's an interesting point. That because of Wednesday and everything, they switched. So probably when I come in tomorrow, it will. Oh no, wait. It did roll. I rolled today. Of course. By the way, why on this indicator do I have labels? I'm looking at these charts, and they have the indicators listed on there. What is that music? It's just the same playlist that we use every stream. Now that I have my mixer in front of me, we could totally mess with it. One thing that I could do is I could make it so that, like, I do everything on the mix board, and then I could, like, change the music, you know, how loud the music is midstream, but, like, I wouldn't use it. It wouldn't make any sense. So I could live DJ, but then I'd have to go and find royalty-free music until YouTube gets some sort of a deal like Twitch does. And then I guess I could DJ whatever I wanted. But meh. Okay. Yeah, I guess that's, well, you know, we could browse around Reddit and whatnot, but I think that we got the most important points. It's time for me to get going. So, guys, have a good Wednesday. It is only Wednesday. You know, Thursday and Friday often goes through really quickly, so we'll see. I will continue working on this indicator, hopefully. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Stay excellent, team.